Do you ever have moments when your thoughts just seem to take over? Maybe they circle round and round in your head or bounce back and forth in there. They just stay in your mind. Or maybe they go away briefly, but they keep coming back up. Thoughts you struggle with, like dwelling on past events, obsessing, ruminating, excessive worrying, maybe. This can happen with positive or negative thoughts. But more often than not, it's the stuff you don't want in your head that causes problems. This is important to talk about because these kinds of thinking patterns can play a role in anxiety and depression. It may sometimes feel like difficult thoughts or distressful feelings are taking control of you rather than you being in control of you. Have you ever experienced anything like this? If so, you're certainly not alone. Greetings and welcome. My name's Kelly. Thank you very much for joining me. I want to show you a tool that can help with the problem of distressful thought patterns taking over. Getting fused with your thoughts or overwhelmed by your thoughts, because this can be pretty distressful sometimes. So let me just say this to you. You are not your thoughts. You are something much more than that. What if we could learn to stop clinging to these inner experiences and struggling with them? To stop judging or criticizing ourselves for having them? What if you could disconnect from these patterns a bit to get some space in there between these distressful inner experiences and your true self? Create some space in there for living your life. This tool I'm going to show you helps with that. It's not trying to get rid of your thoughts or push them away. That can be called experiential avoidance. I don't think we can really force thoughts to disappear, but we do not have to be dominated by them. This unhooking from thoughts can be called cognitive diffusion because we're unfusing ourselves from them. They're still there, but they're not in charge. This concept and the term cognitive diffusion comes from acceptance and commitment therapy, also known as ACT, which is a process-based approach dealing with psychological processes to help us move toward being psychologically flexible. ACT was founded by Stephen Hayes. Mindfulness is a big part of ACT, and it's really just a way of observing the various experiences that you're having right now in any given moment. It's about being fully present in the present and focusing on an aspect of the present. We're only living right here, right now, in this very moment. What I'm going to show you is a mindfulness meditation for cognitive diffusion. It's called Leaves on a Stream. The purpose is to teach ourselves how to step back and observe the flow of the words of your thoughts. Just let them come and stay and go while not clinging to them. We're going to be unhooking, and it's kind of like freeing up some life energy so that you can live your life. Now, I like to do this with my eyes closed to help me really focus in on my internal experience. You may be wondering, if we're going to close our eyes, why a video instead of an audio? Well, I've embedded some visual cues to help you remember the process when you go to do this on your own, which is what I really hope you'll do. What I suggest is that you just watch the video straight through the first time with your eyes open. Kind of process the activity we're going to do here so you get the hang of it first. Then, on the second run through, you can give it a go with your eyes closed. So when you're ready, if you've already watched through once with your eyes open, then this is the point where I'll invite you now to close your eyes. If you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes for this, that's okay. Just find a fixed point somewhere in front of you and keep your eyes softly, diffusely focused there. Sit comfortably with your spine straight so you feel stable, and let your shoulders drop down a little bit so you feel relaxed. Now, access your sense of adventure, exploring with curiosity. We're going to be like curious little children here, wondering what new things we'll discover and encounter about ourselves. Start by noticing your breath. Focus on your breathing. Don't try to change anything with your breath. Just pay attention and observe. And do that for a few breaths. Now, I want you to imagine a gently flowing stream and see if you can visualize it flowing somewhere near you there in your imaginal space. So see the stream if you can. If you have trouble visualizing the stream, that's okay. Just stay in that dark space behind your closed eyes and just use that dark space instead. If you are seeing the stream in your imagination, just watch it flowing gently right now. If you want, you can get creative and imagine there are some trees and their branches are gently waving in the breeze. Now, notice that here and there, these trees are letting go, releasing their leaves, and the leaves are falling from the branches down into a cool, soft landing on the water. Now imagine the leaves floating on the surface of the water. Watch the stream. Watch the leaves. See the leaves flowing along with the gentle motion of the stream. Now start to become aware of your thoughts. Tune into your mind's chatter. There's a monologue going on, right? Listen to it. What thoughts do you hear? Now, thoughts are going to be like words. They're made up of words. For example, the thought, I am hungry, has those 3 words. So visualize those 3 words. It doesn't matter what the thought is. It may seem positive, negative, or maybe just kind of neutral. Whatever is there, take those words that make up a thought and place them on one of the leaves. The thought that you noticed is now floating around in the stream. See it? Then you'll go to another thought and do the same thing. We're learning how to watch with curiosity, to observe our stream of thoughts without getting pulled into them. Just watching the words come and go. No need to hold on to them. When I do this myself, sometimes I might be mentally listing what else I need to do later that day. Any thought that pops up, see it in your mind's eye and mentally release it out there to the gentle current of water. Now, don't try to speed up the leaves to get them away from you faster. Let them move at their own pace. They may cluster together or flow separately. It doesn't matter. Just watch them float. Remember, you're not trying to get rid of your thoughts. You're not pushing them away. You're just allowing them to be there, floating. So you're letting go of the struggle. This is an act of acceptance. Just as the trees release their leaves, we are releasing our thoughts. What this is, it's just paying close attention to what's going on in your mind. This is what your mind is generating for your consideration. You don't have to do anything with it. All you're doing is acknowledging non-judgmentally, non-critically. It's just a thought. There it is, floating around in the mind space. If your mind wanders off at any time during this exercise, and if you're human, it will, that's a normal and natural occurrence with mindfulness practice. It's okay. Just acknowledge that you got carried away with thoughts. Notice the thoughts, release them, don't judge yourself, and then just gently bring your mind back to the process at hand. You might have a feeling that comes along with one of these thoughts. If so, notice and acknowledge the feeling. Say to yourself, there's a feeling of sadness or whatever it is, and mentally place those words out onto the stream. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes and come back into your present space and time. Ground yourself now in the room, wherever you are, by checking in with all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? Are there any tastes in your mouth? What can you touch? Try this now. An important follow-up step here is to grab a pen and a notebook and debrief a little bit with yourself. Reflect on what it was like to do this exercise. What thoughts tended to draw you in? Did you catch yourself trying to speed up the stream? Record your feelings, your impressions in your notebook. Did you notice that there was a part of you that was the observer, the listener, watching what was going on? That you is always there, always has been there, observing your experiences, a witness to everything you think, sense, feel, and do all the time in any given moment. That part of you can always step back and watch your mind in all its busyness. With this exercise, you're turning inward. What's going on in there? We're teaching ourselves not to judge, deny, avoid, or try to get away from any of our own experiences. And that's our human tendency, to try to escape from or numb out any discomfort. Even though it's hard, we're training ourselves to sit with this stuff. It's much healthier for us to consciously accept our experiences. The more you practice mindfulness, the more you'll start to see that you do not have to be fused with any of your internal experiences. You can be an observing witness to them. I really hope the leaves on a stream exercise can be useful for you. Remember, you and I, are not our thoughts and our feelings. We're way more than that.